I'm here with RE1EASE from Anexis, who have just lost to VeryGames in the quarterfinals of the EMS one here in Cologne. Quite a dramatic game, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it was quite a very dramatic game. I think on our side it was the more dramatic team, I would say. Started off very, very poorly. I mean, I can't remember the last time I only got one round on a map, bar like when I was an absolute crocker of a noob, like 1 HP, like just ridiculous how we can go 16-1 down. It felt like more of a void sort of map. We lost, and it wasn't like we were just like, oh, we should have done that, should have done that. There was no explanation for our loss. We had absolutely no idea how it came about. We just lost. Moved on to the next two. I think initially before Nuke we were not confident, but like we weren't exactly just saying to ourselves, oh, it's their map, they can have it sort of thing. Did go into it with some sort of expectations. Dust 2 game, I'd say it was a lot more on our favour for how we went into the game. I think we went into it like very confidently, and we kind of knew what we needed to do. We know how they play because Dust 2 hasn't really swapped up from Source really at all. We knew that like roughly what we needed to do, how it needs to happen, certain scenarios throughout a map, like how we counteract, how we think they're playing, all that sort of stuff. Then on Inferno, it became apparent very early in the game that they were doing a sort of very, very aggressive style towards house, and I know that VeryGames are a very good team. If I was to push aggressive into balcony, then it means that there's going to have 3 people, one's going to get boosted up through the window, the guy on steps is going to be flashing, all that sort of stuff, so it's going to be very hard to play aggressive. But then, by not playing aggressive, it means you have to play a more defensive role, and I think that because of that defensive role and the strat that they were constantly executing, it was just like too hard to stop. Like, we done our best. We kept them in the pit. Like, we stopped them as much as we can in some very close rounds. But I think the feeling after like the consensus of most of our players was that our T side was just shocking. Like for how it could have been. Like we don't think it played too. We didn't play. Yeah, think about it. We didn't play anything like we could have on our T side Inferno. Our CT side was we played pretty well, but I think we just lost some stupid clutches. The screen, fair enough, screen played very well to get the clutches. He went to the place where he was most likely to win, and he won it. But I think at the same time we played very badly in them 2 situations that he's won.
After Birmingham, you only had a few days to practice for this tournament. Are you still happy with this result, considering the amount of time that you had to practice for this tournament?
I personally am not happy about the result at all, and I'm sure Anexis and the rest of my teammates won't be happy either. The way we see it, it's kind of last place. I know the online tournaments have taken place, but really at the LAN event it's become last place. When taking into account how much preparation we've put in, I would kind of say, yeah, it's how it should have realistically turned out. But I think because of we've all got the experience from Source, we all know how to play. It's against a team that's used to play Source. We know roughly what VeryGames are going to do because we've played against them so many times. Whereas some of the 1.6 teams, I know, for example, me, I'm not particularly fond of playing at ESC just because of their style. But then they're not at this event. Yeah, I can't even remember the question. What was it again?
Yeah, if you are happy with your performances, considering how little time you had to prepare for this tournament.
Yeah, we only managed to get the 2 days in for practice. They were still pretty good. I mean, Lewis comes in from our old Counter-Strike Source lineup. We've played almost a year together back then. Big gap, in between then and now. And Lewis didn't really start off in CSGO like myself, but I would say we can get back into it quite quickly. Yeah, I think overall it's not a good turnout whatsoever. Close game or not, it was a close game and bad result in my eyes.
Okay, so you had only a few days to practice for this tournament, and you almost beat VeryGames, who are without a doubt one of the top teams in the world, and have the momentum going after winning Mad Cats. Do you think that if you had if you had had a little bit more time to practice, you would have beaten them and eventually get back to the top?
I think if we had more practice and based off of that game, like not saying that if it was another day sort of thing and we had practice, because for all like we know they could have played bad, but I don't, on this particular day I think they played as well as they could have, and we played as well as we could have with both of our circumstances taken into account. I think yeah, with more practice I think we can definitely be competing, as much as it doesn't look like it right now. I don't know whether again any of the spectators can take anything from that result, but I'm sure we look shocking on the Source TV and on the streams and everything. But like right now, we know what needs to happen, but it's all like it seems to just be in hindsight at the moment because we haven't played enough. There's none of the subconscious stuff that people are just doing, which you get from playing loads together, sort of thing, and we just haven't got any of them elements in our play yet.
Do you see this VeryGames team right now as they play today? Do you see them beating NIP, for example?
On a very, very good day, trying not to disrespect VeryGames, I know all of their players and they're all very good people, so it's very good players as well. But I mean, I think they'd have to be on a very, very good day and NIP will have to not be on their best, sort of thing. Yeah.
What is the future now for you guys? Will you take a break right now and try to focus on getting the right practice for the tournament? Or there's some events coming up like Geeks Festival, also DreamHack Summer. Do you have any plans already?
We don't have any immediate plans. I think all of our sort of plans are within medium term sort of time limit. I don't think we'll be turning up to the Geeks Festival simply just because it's very close for how prepared we are. We've had talks within the team about how we're not just fond anymore of just turning up to events and trying to get as best as we can. I used to work in Source with no practice, but now it's so apparent that you have to play. So not that we were seeing it like, oh, we won't play, but like, because of circumstances we couldn't. But I think now we've got all the time. I haven't got anything on with university. Sam doesn't. Lewis hasn't got things like football, and Jim and Brandon are definitely up for it as well for playing. And we'll try and get fit in the 3 days, and I'm sure we'll bounce back from this completely.
That's it for me. Is there anything else you want to say?
Thanks to all the Anexis sponsors, Thick and Liquor, RE1EASE, they're doing a great job for us, and thanks for sending us to this event. And apologies to all the fans as well of Anexis for poor performance yet again.
Thank you.